Okay, so I want to show you this copywriting framework called AIDA. It's this idea that people move through 4 stages when they discover and ultimately purchase a product. Understanding these 4 stages will help you become a more interesting and persuasive copywriter. It's the framework that allowed Sam Parr to drive millions of people to his company's website by writing viral blog posts. And it's the same framework that helps a bunch of rich companies motivate consumers to click on their ads and take out their wallets. And I've spent a few hours curating some of the best examples I could find so that you can start applying AIDA yourself. Let's talk about the first letter A, which stands for attention. When building an ad, most people start by thinking about the product. They'll start snapping some product photos and listing the benefits of using that product. It sounds like a pretty reasonable thing to do, but it's a big mistake. The truth is that your product isn't interesting enough to divert someone's attention while they're mindlessly scrolling through social media. You need something unusual to break that pattern. We call these scroll stoppers, and this is the purpose of the attention phase. We want to present something that's attention-grabbing or hyper-relevant to our audience. Take this Panasonic ad, for example. You've got this monster hiding inside of a filing cabinet, which is pretty strange, right? Visually, this is very different than most creatives you'll see scrolling through the feed, so already we're on our way towards making something more interesting. What's great about this creative is that it breaks the pattern of dry and monotonous ads that we're used to seeing. After briefly pausing on the image, your eyes are then drawn down towards the most prominent string of text, the headline, which reads, "Fear of filing." This headline is congruent with the creative and pretty quickly helps the audience understand the message that a messy filing cabinet is bad and our product is good. So I encourage you to keep your eyes peeled for interesting ads and then think, how might I apply a similar concept to my business? Now you might be wondering, why are we talking about creatives when this video is supposed to be about copywriting? It's because copy and creative work complementary to one another instead of in isolation. It's a 1-2 punch where your creative generates curiosity and then your copy delivers the punchline. It's a really simple but effective technique that will help you make more interesting ads. For example, take a look at all of these different angles that Palmolive tested for their bar of soap. Dozens of different ideas were put to work selling the same product, some doing better than others. Eventually, they discovered that this tagline works best, and so they made more ads using that same idea. Here's another example for dental floss that doesn't explicitly mention what the product is in the creative, but rather it offers an intriguing image of dentures in a glass of water that certainly captures attention more than a photo of dental floss would. And the headline delivers a cheeky punchline that forces the audience to think for a moment and come to the conclusion on their own. The next letter is I, which stands for interest. Now that we have our audience's attention, we need to hold their attention and earn their permission to continue reading our ad. We do this by sharing interesting facts, quotes, and use cases of our product that will make them think, that's interesting. I think I might like that. These Facebook ads from The Hustle do a great job at sharing interesting facts about their product that also serve to highlight the value propositions of the business. You want your audience to think, this is something I like, or this is something I might like. In this case, the text overlay, "How 2 million people start their day," is great social proof and probably causes many people to think, well, if that many people like this, then there's a good chance I'll like it too. The primary text suggests that the product will help you appear smarter to your colleagues, which is something that many people probably like the idea of. This American Airlines ad shows how many daily flights they offer from New York to Washington. The sheer number of flights is an interesting fact that will appeal to an audience that frequently travels between these two cities, which achieves the goal of the interest stage. But the way they've chosen to display it also satisfies the attention stage as well. Positioning each flight time on its own line really emphasizes the significance of the value proposition, more so than simply stating we offer 21 daily flights somewhere else in the copy where it might be overlooked. This Blinkist ad shows an interesting application of their product. The app provides 15-minute summaries of books. So they curated a playlist of 42 books to improve your sex life. The curation of these books into a 42-day challenge is something their customers might think, I might like that, that's interesting, which is exactly what we're trying to accomplish in the interest stage. The next letter is D, which stands for desire. This stage is all about moving our audience from I like this to I want this. And we do this by showing them how their life will be better or different after they buy our product, service, or idea. We want to help them visualize their own life and see how it will change. Here's another Palmolive ad for a bar of soap. This whole section gives a beautiful description of how the product addresses the problem, helping the audience visualize what their life might look like while using it. It opens with a vivid description of what the experience feels like when using the product, followed by an explanation of how the product works to solve the problem, and then a vivid description of a consequence of not using the product. all in just 32 words. This is a very powerful 3-step formula that you should use as a prompt for your own copywriting. This next paragraph addresses objections customers might have as a result of their skin being too oily or too dry for the product to work. Interestingly though, the copy doesn't simply claim that this product works for oily skin. Instead, the copy describes the expectation when used with oily skin. The specificity of the instructions here makes it feel more believable, which makes the objection feel invalid and makes the audience think, well, I guess I have no reasons for not trying this product. And this paragraph is interesting because it demonstrates how another possible problem in their life is solved when this product is used daily. In this case, they're saying that you can apply rouge and powder as much as you'd like when you use this product to clean your skin first. So what they're doing is positioning their product in a complementary way alongside other consumable products their audience likely uses on a frequent basis. That brings us to the final letter A, action. The goal of this phase is to motivate our audience to take action. And we do this by having a very clear and specific call to action. Tell them what to do next. So many people forget to do this. This deodorant ad explains where to buy the product, but also makes an offer for a free sample with generous supply, plus a cutout coupon ready to go and make things easy. Here's a good example where instead of just saying click to learn more, the button text reads browse 150 plus tools. It's easy to imagine where this button takes you to, probably to a page where you'll be able to browse through a bunch of tools. It's also a sneaky way to highlight the value proposition that they are offering and have curated more than 150 tools together for you. This button reads keep up for a service that curates and summarizes news stories. This one reads create your career page now. And this one reads start free in 30 seconds. Let's take a look at some more modern applications of the AIDA framework. Here's a landing page for a Chrome extension that helps you read faster. You might argue that this company has already earned the attention of their audience because they've ended up on their website. So as far as interest goes, the subheadline claims that the product will help you read 10 times faster, which is a pretty bold and interesting claim. Desire is created in the headline with a very concise and clear promise of how the user will benefit, creating a sense of I want this. And the call to action asks the user to do a very specific and clear task, to download the Chrome extension. The headline here might achieve a sense of I might like this for people who frequently read newsletters, but in my opinion, the headline could benefit with a more clear description of how. Because someone might read this and think, well, what's wrong with the way I currently read newsletters? It doesn't seem like an obvious problem to be solving. The product photo attempts to create desire by showing what the product experience looks like, which I think is pretty good. The subheading accomplishes this as well, where it says in a space built for mindful reading, which speaks to how the user might feel when using the product. This isn't the strongest button text, but I think the call to action is clear enough to encourage action.